Death. Death is our primal fear. It's a danger that we simply cannot avoid. At one point or another, haven't we all wished we could escape death? Haven't we all dreamt of being immortal? We think it'll be beautiful to live forever. The question though is, how sure are we about that? My name is Sudhir Srinivasan, and this is Express Essays.
Freedom, item, meet him, where'd you read him?
In this episode, we will be looking into one of my favorite aspects of the recent Netflix film, The Old Guard. I'd like to talk about the film's existential exploration of what it truly means to be immortal.
It's not what time steals, it's what it leaves behind.
I think all of us at one time would have said to ourselves, oh, I wish I could live forever. But what does that really mean?
The urge to survive is deeply ingrained within us. So here I'd like to keep evolutionary reasons aside. Just psychologically speaking, why do we want to live so long? So we get enough time to do everything, right? So we can see everything. So we can experience everything. Because we know that in our limited allotted time, we would have barely scraped the list of things to do on earth, the things to see. However, what if you've seen it all? What if you've done it all? Like Charlize Theron's character, Andromeda the Scythian in The Old Guard. She can fly an aeroplane, she's been around long enough to identify the ingredients of a baklava just by tasting it. One character says about her that she has forgotten more systems of fighting than entire armies will ever learn. What's to keep you going then? Why should you still be alive? These are some of the questions asked in The Old Guard.
The Old Guard is a group of mercenaries fighting for the good of the world, and their one unique ability is immortality.
They just heal. They are unkillable. You know, I think what I was trying to do ultimately was to answer for myself, what is the purpose of death?
There is a real human quality to the value of life and death, knowing that it means something really deep.
This isn't real. I haven't figured this out yet. You can't die. Get up. Can you please not do that again?
This is special and there's a reason for it and that there is beauty in it.
It's a film that beautifully explores what it means to be unable to die, what it truly means to outlive everyone you love. As the caption of this film says, forever is harder than it looks. I found it quite enjoyable that this film refuses to look at immortality as a blessing.
So you good guys or bad guys?
Depends on the century. We fight for what we think is right.
They've been alive too long to deal with all the petty garbage that people throw up about you look different, you sound different.
As glorious as that may sound, it's pretty unglorious to them. It brings a lot of pain and a lot of sorrow and a lot of...
The film shows us that immortality isn't particularly desirable. On the contrary, we see that it causes them quite a lot of pain and suffering. As one of the characters in the film says, just because we keep living does not mean we stop hurting. In this scene, of course, the character is talking about physical pain, but they may as well be talking about all the mental trauma they've had to deal with over centuries of being alive.
Yeah, sadness. Everyone around you, everyone you love, is gonna grow old. It's gonna suffer and it's gonna die.
Everyone that you love, every single person that you love passes away, and that's just gonna keep being a repeating thing in your life.
It's not about how much time you have, but what you do with that time. And at a certain point, like, what more can you do, especially if you've lost your purpose?
No, not this. Why are you taking her? You're still yelling about the weight.
This existential fatigue is explored in this film mainly through the eyes of Charlize Theron's character, Andy. And this is done almost literally. Just notice at all times the burden, the sheer weight of unstoppable existence in her eyes. She does not care about humanity. She does not think there is any point to doing anything. She also rejects the notion of a god and points out the irony that she was once revered as a god herself. I mean, think about it. It makes sense because what we don't understand as a species, we have historically tended to label as God. This is referred to as the God of the Gaps fallacy. This is why everything we did not once understand, from the sun to the lightning to thunder, were once thought of as gods. One line said by Andy accurately summarizes her standpoint about existence. She says, "None of it means anything anyway." Her first ever dialogue in this film, in fact, ends with a similar line. "I am just so tired," she says.
Andy has reached a point where it feels like more of a curse, the immortality. And Niall, even though she doesn't understand it, she keeps asking why. And I think she's more interested in the gift that it could be. And she's a huge part of revealing, this gift to the team.
What Andy and her friend Booker face in this film is a term that's very common. It's a term that's become very trivialized in its contemporary usage. I'm referring, of course, to the term existential crisis.
She's lost her faith in what they're doing and whether anything that they're doing is actually making anything better. And so this existential crisis is one that she's facing right from the beginning of the film.
In undergoing this existential crisis, Andy helps us see that there is no macro purpose to existence, that whatever purpose we ascribe ourselves is personal. This is very much in keeping with an important branch of philosophy called existentialism, which asserts that our lives have no inherent purpose except that which we create for ourselves, that which we are free to create for ourselves. This is why Joe and Nikki are so happy among this group of immortals, because they are in love and they value their companionship. Booker, in fact, points this out at the end and says that he and Andy have had only their grief to live with for centuries.
If you have purpose like Joe and Nikki, they know why they're here. They are here to do good. They are here to protect. For them, it's a blessing. And those like Andy and Booker who've lost their purpose yet cannot die and just want a normal life that has a beginning, middle, and an end.
One of the things that gives our lives their meaning is knowing that they end. And it does give us a purpose. And one of the things that the movie is about is rediscovering a purpose.
Again, it's important to reiterate that the interesting thing about purpose is that we are all free to ascribe one to ourselves. Our individual purposes are as important to us as someone else's is to them. Take the character of Niall in this film, for example. Her purpose, she's convinced, is to go out there and do some good to the people. It's a purpose that proves to be contagious. It's a purpose that Andy buys into towards the end, when she finally understands that, like it or not, she has been an agent of positive change in this world. I mean, let's make no mistake, The Old Guard is an entertaining action film, sure. The stunts are great, the violence is entertainingly designed, but to me, the real enjoyment of this film is all these quiet explorations into the psyches of these characters. It's a film that shows you that death need not be feared, that in fact it is the eventuality of death that motivates us to lead a purposeful existence.
But we do have purpose.
It's such deep inquiry that makes this film not just an action film with superheroes for me. It's a story that gets you thinking about the very nature of existence. I mean, really, how many films can we say this about? Thank you for watching this video. My name is Sudhir Srinivasan, and if you enjoyed this video, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Otherwise, we will curse you with immortality.